Just fed the cats, came down to the shack, cleaning up some of the tools here from the little project, so gotta put some glue on this baby, and other than that, that's about all it's happening here.
N2DTS, QRP.
Hello, Brett. Weak Brett. QRP Brett, good evening. And, what mic screen are you talking about, Pop?
It's killing me. The grill, like one of those mobile D104s, it just keeps falling off.
Okay, that one. I got you. What's going on, Brett? This guy in this carrier is killing me. Say that again, Brett. And the dummy, please use a dummy load.
I'm running 4 watts battery power out of the little new 4-state QRP Nuvo 75. Strapping signal or what?
Well, you're about 10 over at the house here, but your audio is very, very muffled. It's nothing but low end in the audio. If the audio was, a little better, it would be much easier to copy it.
I don't know how to hook up a better mic under this thing, this condenser mic, but looks like they only really use and have the microphone audio. I won't break that.
Oh, okay. Yeah, roger that on the condenser mic. Yeah, well, like I said, if the audio was if you had more highs and more mids, it would definitely be much easier to copy it. But I mean, your signal's good. Like I said, you're 10, almost 15 over here. So you're sounding or you're making the trip. How's he coming over to you there, Father? W2SDR, W3MMR. I guess I'm not making the trip either.
What was that?
Can you hear Brett?
Yeah, I can hear him.
You guys are both really strapping here.
Yeah, band's in good shape. You're like 40 over, Pop. And Brett, like I said, you're about 15 over-ish. So that's one of them little kit rig. I looked that up the other night when we were talking. I looked that up. And they look pretty cool. There's not much to them, and they're not expensive by any means. Probably be a cool little kit to build.
Yeah, the receiver's actually pretty good. You sound really good in it. I'm wearing the headphones, and you sound really good. I mean, the audio's there. The microphone just doesn't pick it up.
I got you. Well, if I'm sounding good in it, it's your headset or the radio. It's not me. I'd be interested to hear that thing with another microphone on it. Or a little bit of processing. Have you ever, put any processed audio into it?
Well, I can't figure out how to do that because it has ground and one lead for the audio and push-to-talk. The push-to-talk and the audio is all on one wire, and I don't know, I'm not sure how they're doing that.
I use a pull-up resistor in there. That's how that works.
So how would I put a...
Hi, Frank. N1YTN.
I'm not sure. I'd have to look at the schematic. But that's how they do that.
Yeah, well, the schematic shows I got a 10K with 6 volts on it, and that's going to the audio input, and it also goes to a 1 meg, and that goes to the push-to-talk transistor. So I'm at a run.
I'm trying to remember how to add a manual notch filter to that carrier.
All right, turn on MNF, okay, the manual notch filter, and then hit the plus manual notch filter, okay, and it'll pop up right on 3885, and then you grab it, you click on it, and you can move it. Sometimes if you the first time you click on it, it'll just make it wider, you know, it'll widen it, but then click on it again and drag it over.
All right, I'm getting it now. I'm waiting for him to come back because he was... There you go. Okay, because it was on you to begin with. Now it's moved over.
Right. Yeah, you just gotta, you know, shift it over there. Works really good, though.
I mean, I couldn't have even dreamed of this stuff. I mean, the vintage stuff is great and all, but man, it's like, here's a radio like this. It's like, give me a break.
Yeah, it's on a whole other level. It's not even on near the same level, but it is pretty cool and very convenient. That's for sure. But everybody's sounding real good. And I'm tired, man. I am exhausted. I feel like I'm running on fumes.
Yeah, we had a long night. I wouldn't take a nap if I were you. I'd just stay up and then get a good night's sleep. You know. Yeah, that mobile rig, I don't think it has really any bass response anyway. And see what happens what happens is if a mic has got some low end, it gets honky sounding, and that's what that stock mic sounded like, you know. So it doesn't have that peak. That mic's got the condenser mic that's in that stock mic has got a peak around 500 or 600 hertz that makes it sound the way it does, and that peak is not there when you're static, so it just instantly clears it up. But there's not much bass response in that radio to begin with under 300.
Right. Did you try a parrot with it yet? To hear what you sound like?
Yeah, it sounds great on Parrot. I mean, it's just so crystal clear, like you were saying. And I really likes the way it sounds, too, because he was lurking there, too, on Tri-State. I got him, so he liked the way it sounds. Yeah, so I don't think that the bottom line is, even if I did mod the resistor, the grid resistor, not the grid, I mean, the gate resistor, it's not in the radio to begin with. So I like the way it sounds, man. It just cuts, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, like I told you, it's real cutting audio, man. It's just like it slices like a hot knife through butter. You know, it sounds really good. And that's a good point. It's like it's trying to force feed those lows into that radio, so it's just like everything gets like just jumbled up sounding, like muffled and honky. So yeah, it sounds really good. I mean, and it's such a big difference. I mean, from as soon as I heard it, it was instant. You know, you can really tell the difference before you even switched back to the old mic. Yeah, I'm not taking a nap tonight. You know, I came home at lunch. I guess I took lunch around 1:30 and laid down for a half hour. Then, you know, I obviously didn't fall asleep. I just laid down on the couch and closed my eyes. But no, I'm just gonna stay up. And I didn't get home until about 11:30 last night, probably. And by the time I got settled down and fell asleep, it was 12:30, 1 o'clock. And then I was up at 4:30 for the net this morning. That was non-existent, and the conditions were horrible. So it was like a waste of time, honestly. But well, whatever. I'm glad we tried. It's fun getting in there in the mornings. W3MMR.
All right, there's a mobile. It might be Jamie. So when I find that carrier, like where I have it set, if I click the center button once, it turns red. So that shuts it off, but doesn't delete it. And if you click it twice, the delete window comes up. Then you could delete it, right? Did you copy that?
Yeah, hold on a second. Pick it up with Jamie. I forget how it works. Is that you out there, Jamie? N2VJ Mobile, W3MMR.
No, it's my AJ1G mobile, one of the other mobiles. Up here on N1SNG.
Okay, Chris, you're just above the noise, but I got you. I'm getting about 90%. About 90% down there from the mobile. How much power are you running, Chris? Over? Okay, it's fine. Now, I narrowed my filter down because I know you're not wide to begin with, and it makes it much easier to copy. So you're 100%. 100%, Chris. I love those 75-meter AM mobiles. W2SDR, over.
That where I
Okay, well, it's working. It's definitely working, Chris. So, did you check in with the military net this morning? Yeah, it was horrible. I got in a little bit, but that was about it. Ted did copy me for a little bit. Then the band went long again, so it was very frustrating. But at least I got my own one and out, and then moved on. So, all right, Chris, I'll catch you later. Be careful out there. AJ1G, W2SDR.
Ago.
Yeah, all right, Chris. I flipped on the WebSDR to copy my noise level. As you know, isn't the best. But you were up and down. I could copy at some points here at the house, but obviously Steve's WebSDR was able to pick you up pretty good there. So sounded good, Chris. Great to hear you in the mobile. It's always fun to hear mobiles here on 75 meters. That's for sure. But anyway, yeah, be safe driving, and I'm sure we'll hear you again back on the band, maybe with the central electronics. And real quick before I forget, Pop, with the manual notch filter, okay, with mine, to turn it on, you hit the MNF button, then hit plus MNF to add one notch filter. And then to turn it off, I hit my, on my mouse, I have a different mouse than you, the scroll wheel in the middle. I I click on the filter, you know, the notch with the scroll wheel, click that, and it shuts it off. And then if I right-click on it, then it brings it up, brings a screen up where I can delete it. You know, it has a delete button, and then you can enter in how wide or how narrow you want the filter to be. W3MMR.
Yeah. Try say one word.
Word.
Okay, I got it now. Yep, like it's the same way. Well, my wheel in the center, if I push that, it's a click too. So not only is it a wheel, but it's a click too.
Right, yeah, exactly. Like that's mine as well. So I click the wheel, and that you know, turns the text of the, you know, the notch, information of that notch. It turns it orange or red, which, you know, then it lets you know it's off, and then right-clicking brings it.
Bring it up again.
And such. Which is nice. Before they didn't have that.
No, I want to bring it up to 130. Use the fine coupling.
It's nice. To do it. So anyway, cool. So these radios are great, man. W2SDR, W3MMR. I wonder what I'm make for dinner.
Yeah, I'm not that hungry. I had they had a fundraiser at Tractor Supply in Woodstown for the Humane Society. We made $500 in about 3 hours. It was great. It was a bake sale. So there was no prices on any of the baked goods that the people made. You know, we set up a big thing there. And then people could pay whatever they wanted for, say, banana bread or cookies or brownies. And it went as a donation. We made over $500 this morning.
Really? That's awesome, man. I always see people out front of Tractor Supply doing something. You know, they're always out there doing. There's always somebody, you know, whether it be like Boy Scouts or Girl Scouts or you know, football teams or, you know, something like that. There seems to be always somebody out there. It's a great place to do stuff like that, because that place always seems to be packed. You know. So good, man. Good deal. That's pretty cool. You really like that animal shelter stuff. I'm glad you started doing that. Get you out of the house, you know. Keep you occupied.
Yeah, I love the animals, man. I mean, really. They you can tell they really appreciate it. You know, and somebody's got to take care of them. You know, so may as well be me. Yeah, so I just stopped by to sit to people that were working up there, you know, that was volunteering. And I paid $10 for a little thing of banana bread to contribute. We have a calendar, too, that they were selling. But I already bought a calendar last week. And a Humane Society calendar. But that Tractor Supply, they got a lot of cool stuff in there, man. Like jackets and boots and, man, you name it, they got it in that Tractor Supply. That's a really cool store.
Yeah, me and you went up there not that long ago. I forget what we went there for. I'm trying to remember what the hell we had to go there for. Can't remember. I know they got a little bit of everything. They got, like you said, clothes and Carhartt jackets and boots and hardware, you know, tools, yeah, a little bit of everything in that place. Seriously, if you can't find what you need at that place, you'd be hard pressed to find it anywhere else. I mean, like they sell basically everything in there but groceries. If you need horse feed, you need this, you need that, they got it. And they're reasonably priced too. It's not like they're overpriced by any means. I wish I had one close to me. I don't think I want to find a Tractor Supply in Chester.
No, they have capacitors. They got a capacitor there. No, they don't have them. We were in there. I can't believe I remember something you don't. For the trailer hitch stuff, remember?
That's what I was thinking. It might be. It might have been for that trailer hitch fiasco. That we went through that day. That's right. Now I remember. That's right. That's cool. How's the cats? The cats use the cat houses yet?
I don't know. I can't tell. I don't think they've been in them yet. Now, one of the people up at the thing today was telling me maybe you should open up something in the back, way out, because maybe they feel that they're afraid to go in there because they can't get out. Yeah, I can understand that because there's only one way out. See what I'm saying? It's like feral cats don't like to come in the house because they don't know if they're going to be able to get out again, So I might cut a hole in the back, too, so they can go in and out. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's a good idea. Well, I guess, if you don't really want to, I guess if you don't have to, cut a hole in the back and see if they, use it without it, just to try to keep as much heat in there as possible for the wintertime, but I'm sure that's kind of that would be like a fail-safe. But yeah, that's a good point. They don't want to fit back into a corner, literally.
Well, I'll leave it like this for a while. Cats take a while to get used to stuff. You can't force a cat or rush a cat. They're going to do stuff at their own speed. So I'm just going to leave them. Let them get used to it out there. And they'll spend more time in that barn when it gets cold and windy. They'll be spending more time in there. So I think they might have been laying on the hay bale that I bought, because there's a little bit of hay on the floor where the hay bale that I bought at Tractor Supply. So it looks like that it's flattened out a little bit. Man, that was like a compressed hay bale that weighed about 30 pounds. I cut the rope on that thing. Man, that thing started to grow.
Yeah, they sling it open like a spring. That's cool. Well, that hay's warm, man. That's some warm stuff. Well, for an animal, and I guess not for us, but for them animals it is, Your audio is sounding good tonight, man. Sounding real good. How's mine sounding? Sounding all right? When I turned the leveler back on, I didn't readjust the ALC, so I turned the ALC group meter on, and it was like going up to like 10 or 15. So I had to back down on the ALC. And I was saying, you get hear like a fly fart on the other side of the room. It sounded like my meters from the video that I recorded yesterday. It sounded like literally, you get to hear the echo in the room. So I hope it sounds all right.
Yeah, you can get away with a lot more of that on sideband, especially if using Vox. But it sounds great. Yeah, no issues at all. It sounds really good. So now I forget what I was going to say. Something about the hay or something. Yeah, so, I don't think you're going to see a Tractor Supply in Chester. You might. You got to get your ass over here, man. Every time I drive around, I look at places that are for sale or something, because I think you're a country boy, man. You get some little bit of ground antennas and not bothered by nothing, and I was looking at Elmer, okay, crime in this area. I mean, there's no violent crime. It's zero for the last 5 or 6 years. You get a couple of robberies, maybe 2 or 3, but I mean, crime is virtually non-existent.
N1SNG.
Hey, Glenn, good evening. N1SNG acknowledged. Well, I know. Yeah, it's where I grew up over there, Spent most of my life over there. Trust me, I don't want to live here the rest of my life where I'm at, I would like to get over there sooner rather than later. So I got to run down the hall, pick it up with Glenn Pop. I'll be back in about 5 or 10 minutes. W2SDR with N1SNG. I'll throw it over to you, Glenn. Good evening. W3MMR.
Whiskey Fox 1 Lima. Yeah, I heard a Whiskey Foxtrot Lima in there. Nice signal, Perry. Just wanted to check in and give you guys a report there. Sounding great in Rhode Island this afternoon. With both ears, both a little 20 over. So, I was outside most of the day. Beautiful day here in Rhode Island. Beautiful foliage, just very comfortable temperatures. So, actually running a Johnson Ranger with the Johnson Thunderbolt amplifier. So, any comments on the audio? I know a lot of knobs have been turned and I don't know where I'm really at, so hopefully it's sounding okay. So what are you, Frank? And I think there was I didn't even write it down. There was another station way in the back there. But I'll just get over to you, Frank. I don't know if you're going to be staying in here or not. W2SDR, N1SNG.
Yeah, there's carriers, there's everything else. It sounds okay. It may be a little loud, but it's woofy sounding. Is that the ring you're using, the Behringer mic with the mixing board?
Yeah, that's the one. I'm looking at it right now. Get this thing in another spot. So yeah, it looks like it's. I don't know if I push it up that way a little bit. Does that help any bit there, Frank? Over.
Well, it's a little light now on the audio, but boy, I'll tell you, that thing would sound terrific with a D104. But it's a little light on the audio now, but I would definitely cut some of that. I can't remember where the lows on that mixing board of yours, but they're in the wrong spot. We've talked about that before. But if you could maybe knock those back a little bit, it just gets overwhelmed with the lower mid-range when you turn the audio up. It's just a shame because that thing would really kick butt with a D104.
Yeah, we're gonna have to do something with it. I just turned the. I'm up in the low, mid, and high. So at around 9 o'clock with the low there. And about 1 o'clock with the other one. So yeah, I'll not to get too fussy here because I did have a D104 on. I just barefoot into the Thunderbolt, and I usually got decent reports with that. But, this one here probably needs a little bit of adjustment, or maybe getting into a different mixer. Nothing too elaborate, but just to give me a little more flexibility. But anyway, sounding great, Frank, and we're running the Thunderbolt. This thing on the L398 here. I can tell you that little HQ110's been doing a great job also. So just a bunch of vintage equipment. And like Perry was saying, the Milrad net this morning. I actually stepped out for a while, and then I came back, and it was I don't know if there was a solar flare or something going on. But anyway, back to you, Frank.
Yeah, the A index was rather high. Now, it's sounding much better now. If you cut that bass just a little bit more and then raise your audio level, I think you're going to get it because the audio quality sounds much better now. You just need a little bit more of it.
Yeah, okay. I'm going to get into the low. I'm going to turn that low all the way over. I'll bring up the audio on the Ranger here just a pinch, so see how things work out with those settings right now. So back to you, Frank.
Oh yeah, that's much better, much clearer, and it's not a muffled sound. So you've got it there. Yeah, just that's the trouble. Those rigs those capacitors get big that people put in, and then it's like all of a sudden it starts letting in lows that really shouldn't even be there, and then you got to cut them way back. You know, with the mixer stuff. So yeah, it sounded good there. Yeah, okay. Yeah, the Milrad net was a little disruptive. Well, I just can't wait till this band starts shortening up a little bit in the morning, because you know, it's really, Ted's been having his hands full here on these Saturday mornings.
Yeah, you know, in the past few years, I noticed the, you know, running 2 or 3, you know, net controls, a lot of relays going on. You know, Ted does a great job there. I always try to help out. I filled in for him many a time. But yeah, sometimes it just doesn't latch up, you know. And I know it's very difficult. There's a lot of stations in there that they want to get in, and they're very light. And like a Dean KK1K, I checked in from Vermont, and he just like overloaded the SP600, you know, and then all of a sudden it just went away. But anyway, yeah, there'll be good, better times, better conditions. And I always appreciate everyone, you know, trying to make sure everybody gets in on the list, or you know, is being heard. I may not be able to participate, but yeah, it's kind of a group effort there, and everybody chips in. And yeah, thanks for the reports on the Thunderbolt, because I don't know what I'm doing here half the time with the adjustments. You know, I got to put headphones on there, and nothing really measures up to the actual, you know, who's listening on the other end and all. Yes, so Tractor Supply, yes, we have one in close proximity here. Like, look at everything in this neighborhood. I mean, just Walmarts, Home Depots, you name it, it's here. And like Lowe's is we had a Lowe's about 2 miles from here. They didn't make it. They were in a bad spot. But anyway, there's one about 5 or 6 miles up the road. So yeah, we can survive in that respect there, just having things close by. And yeah, hey, thanks a lot with the animal shelter there. That's a great thing you do there. I know you volunteer in the I think it's the cat department there, a cat division of the animal rescue, and yeah, that goes a long way. And yep, that every little bit helps out. Little fundraisers, and hey, $500, that's going to go a long way there. You'll probably keep a lot of those animals going there for an extended period of time. Yeah, on the Milrad net this morning, just another note there, right around 6 o'clock, I got up and I left, and I was going to go get some donuts, because I was going to meet up with my niece and nephew. They play soccer, and you know, we just little kids. I always give them a little surprises and sweets and things after the game. But so anyway, I go to this place, and I get in there at 6 o'clock. There's going to be maybe 20 people in there, and then you know, it moves along a little bit, and but 2 or 3 people, you know, make their purchases, and they're out, and then all of a sudden, everything stops dead. And I'm waiting, like, I don't know, 15 minutes. That's the clock. This woman, she orders 12 dozen donuts. Okay, there's one girl at the counter. So I'm like, all right, have patience. Yeah. The next woman orders 10 dozen donuts. So there's an express lane. You call in, you know, on the other side there. And you know, the poor woman behind the counter, I felt real bad for her because she was just like, you know, looking at all these long faces, and, you know, I left after that. I left, and there's still the 10 people in front of me and about 30 in the building, and then, you know, when I went outside, there were people, there was a line of about 20 outside, so I don't know what happened, don't want to know what happened, but I just felt bad for the girl. They must have been shorthanded or someone didn't show up, but you know, they do a fantastic business at this place. It's amazing. You go by there and there could be, you know, 50, 60 people waiting in line. They have those theater fences out there, and it's just amazing. But anyway, I got back here and the band really didn't change that much, but I really have quite a bit done today, and went to the kids' game, and I put up my top up in the back. I got to clean that chimney out. That's the next project here. But hey, enough of that. We'll get back to you there, Frank. W2SDR with N1SNG.
W3MMR back.
Yeah, Perry's back. Get it right over to you, Perry. Really sounds really good now, Glenn. I got a report from Perry now, but you were peaking at 20 to 30 at times that time. Very, very nice sounding radio. That cutting back that bass, what you did there really did the trick. Really cleared it up. So I have never heard of a Dunkin' Donuts that crowded. That you have all those people and somebody getting 12 dozen donuts and the next person 10 dozen donuts. I mean, that's well over 100 donuts. That's unbelievable. I have never seen a Dunkin' Donuts with a line outside. I mean, you know, they do good business, but my, oh my. Over to you, Perry. W2SDR. Go ahead.
Yeah, W2SDR in the group with N1SNG, the donut man, W3MMR. That's a lot of donuts, Glenn. Well, I have a Dunkin' Donuts probably half a mile from my place, and it gets pretty crowded, but I've never seen the line out the door. It's been pretty crowded when me and the old man are there. But it moves pretty quick. You know, that's a Sunday morning, probably their busiest day. So, I mean, yeah, 10 dozen donuts and 12 dozen donuts. I mean, that's 240 donuts or something. It's over 200. I'm not gonna say. I don't want to do the math in my head and embarrass myself. But yeah, Glenn, I literally just walked back in the shack, so I don't know what you did or what rig you're on, but you sound a lot better now than you did when you first came on. It was real, you know, real bassy, kind of muffled, a little distorted, and now you sound, you know, very, very clean and crisp and very well balanced audio. So you sounded real good, Glenn. Great to hear you. Big signal, 30 over. Here into the Anon this evening. So back up to you, Glenn. I'm going to eat on my snack. Got a bowl of cereal here, bowl of Lucky Charms. It's the dinner of champions. I was going to make tacos, but I kind of lost motivation, so I'll make tacos tomorrow night. Anyway, up to you, Glenn. N1SNG in the group W3MMR.
I got to run down the hall. I'll be back.
Yeah, okay, Frank. Yeah, okay, Perry. Yeah, thanks for the reports. I appreciate it. That wasn't a Dunkin'. That was Allie's Donuts. It's just a local family-run place, and they do a fantastic business, I'll tell you. They were just short-handed this morning. Yep, that's quite a bit in the day. You can see the whole operation there. So they're taking them off the front of the shelf, and they're coming like right out of the ovens, right over to the backside, and they don't get any fresher than that. So anyway, I'll stick around here and. Yeah, I really appreciate the reports there on the. I'm using the Johnson Ranger to drive the Thunderbolt, so I did crack the audio up there. So your dad did give me some good advice there, so I do appreciate it. So anyway, back to you.
Whiskey Foxtrot 1 Lima.
Yeah, WF1L. Good evening, Bill. Down there in Dover, Delaware, WF1L. With N1SNG and W2SDR down the hall, W3MMR. eating Lucky Charms. What the hell's that? Living in the city, I always get like people pulling up in front of my house and parking here, and so it's not. I'm always wondering like, who the heck is this? I have cameras everywhere, so I keep a good eye on what's going on. But anyway, I'll turn it right down to you, Bill. Good evening. Sounding good coming out of Dover, Delaware. Up here this evening. Hopefully Glenn has a good copy on you as well. Up there in New England. So down to you, WF1L in the group, W3MMR.
Yeah, I got to run, Perry. I'll catch up with you guys a little later. 7-3's for now.
All right, Glenn, 7-3.
Yeah, the heck of it was. I wanted to talk to him. In any case, his signal got a lot nicer as when he was making the adjustment, because I was sitting there listening to him straighten it out, and it definitely got better and better as he went. So there you are. By the way, how am I sounding? This is WF1L.
You sound good, Bill. I'm guessing you're on the Johnson. You sound good. It sounds a little cleaner than it did the last time I heard you, I think. Before, you kind of, it was just all, I think you were using a D104, and it seemed like all bottom end. You were kind of lacking in the presence frequencies. I don't know if you changed anything or it's just the band, but you sound a little better this evening. A little easier to copy you. It's a pretty good signal up here tonight, about 10 over, peaking at 15 over at times. But you're sounding good, Bill. And maybe you can let me know what the operating conditions are on your next transmission. I'm just on the Anon on the SDR. This evening, no boat anchor tonight. I'm tired. I had went to a wedding last night, didn't get in until late. Got about 3.5, 4 hours of sleep, and then had to go to work this morning, so just kind of bumming it tonight. So back down to you, Bill, WF1L, W3MMR.
Yeah, W3MMR, Whiskey Fox 1 Lima. Okay, well, no, I haven't changed anything. Just tuned the radio up again today, and